Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Prime Minister's wife, Sita Dahal, passes away. Body now kept at party central office in Paris, Tara, for final rights to be held at Ntvithari today. North Korea fires an intercontinental ballistic missile. Launch comes after Pyongyang accused the U.S. military of repeated year incursions. G7 to announce long-term Ukraine security package for Ukraine. Deal to include defense equipment, training and intelligence sharing. And reigning champion Djokovic overcomes Rublev to book last for sport in Wimbledon Open. Tops at Swiatek faces soccer defeat to Sabadonia. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal's wife Sita Dahal has passed away. She was 69. Dahal was suffering from progressive supranuclear palsy along with Parkinson, diabetes and hypertension for a long time. Was rushed to Ntvithari-based Norvik Hospital this morning following complications in her health condition. According to Prime Minister Dahal's personal physician, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sharma, Sita Dahal suffered from cardiac arrest at 8 a.m. Doctors said that despite the resuscitation attempts, she could not be revived and was declared dead at 8:33 a.m. Dahal's body, which is now kept at the party central office in Paris, Tara of Corteshur, will be kept there till 1 p.m. to pay the final tributes. The funeral rites will be held at Ntvithari today itself at 2 p.m. according to Prime Minister Dahal's secretariat. The meeting of the National Assembly scheduled for today has been postponed for tomorrow. The meeting that was set for 11 a.m. today has been postponed to Thursday due to special reason, according to the Federal Parliament Secretariat. The next Assembly will meet at 11 a.m. tomorrow. The Central Committee meeting of Nepali Congress, scheduled to begin from today, has also been postponed. Head of Nepali Congress's Publicity Department, Min Vishwakarma, said the meeting has been postponed following the demise of Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal's wife, Sita Dahal. The meeting of the Central Committee will be held on 18 July. The meeting, to take place at the party central office, Sanepa, was expected to discuss contemporary political affairs and other various issues concerning the party organization. According to Clause 21 of the party charter, the Central Working Committee meeting should sit every 2 months. However, the party was to hold the Central Committee meeting after a gap of around 1 year. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. Now to more updates, and we have the latest from the international front. North Korea has fired a suspected intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, Japanese officials report. The long-range missile has been in a flight for more than an hour and is expected to land short of Japanese waters on Wednesday morning, Japan's defense minister said. Pyongyang's launch comes after it threatened retaliation against alleged U.S. spy plane incursion over its land. It cited the use of U.S. reconnaissance planes and drones and said Washington was escalating tensions by sending nuclear submarine near the peninsula. G7 members are expected to ratify a long-term security arrangement with Ukraine at the NATO summit on Wednesday. It will include defense equipment, training and intelligence sharing. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the agreement would send a strong signal to Russian President Vladimir Putin. It comes after Ukraine's President Zelensky criticized NATO's reluctance to offer Kiev a time frame for joining the NATO alliance. Sunak said Kiev's allies were ramping up their formal arrangements to protect Ukraine for the long term. More than 40,000 people in China's Sichuan province have been evacuated because of floods, state media reported on Wednesday, as cloudburst dropped huge amounts of precipitation over several parts of the country. Bursts of usually heavy rain have saturated different areas over the past few weeks, causing flooding and mudslides that have destroyed homes, damaged infrastructures, and killed several people. China's rain and floods come as several other parts of the world have been seeing similar disastrous downpours, raising new fears about the pace of climate change. More updates are lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Welcome back now to more updates. A U.S. grand jury that is expected to decide whether to charge former President Donald Trump and his allies over their efforts to overturn the 2020 election has been sworn in Georgia. Trump has been under investigation for his 2021 phone call to a Georgia election official, pressing him to find thousands of votes in his favor. The Republican has denied wrongdoing. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Wallace, a Democrat, launched the investigation in early 2021. She has previously hinted that any charges would probably be filed in August. Laos is still grappling with accidents related to unexploded ordnance UXO from the Vietnam War, although it has been 50 years after the signing of the Paris Peace Accords that led to a full withdrawal of U.S. forces. Laos is the most heavily bombed country in the world per capita. Throughout 1964 to 1973, over 2 million tons of ordnance were dropped on Laos, of which 30% failed to explode. Over 270 million cluster munitions were dropped from U.S. warplanes, leaving an estimated 80 million live bomblets scattered and buried around the Southeast Asian nation. Approximately 25% of the national territory of Laos is littered with unexploded ordnance, with Siang Khao province in the northeastern part of the country and the border with Vietnam being the hardest hit. According to the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare of Laos, over 1.8 million UXO devices had been cleared from 599 hectares of land from 1966 to February 2023. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Another cheetah has died at a national park in India's Madhya Pradesh state, taking the number of big cat deaths to 7. A senior official at Kuno National Park said the cheetah died due to suspected infighting. The male cheetah, named Tejas, was found with injuries by the officials. Cheetahs were declared extinct in India in 1952, but they were reintroduced last year as part of an ambitious plan to repopulate this species. 8 cheetahs were translocated from Namibia to India in September 2022, while 12 were brought in from South Africa in February 2023. Of these, 3 cheetahs have died in the past 2 months. 3 cubs were born to a Namibian cheetah at Kuno in March, died in May. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories that have made to the headlines of this edition. Prime Minister's wife Sita Dahal passes away. Body now kept at Party Central Office, Paris, Dada, for the final tributes. Rites to be held at Pashupati Arighat today itself. North Korea fires an intercontinental ballistic missile. Launch comes after Pyongyang accused the U.S. military of repeated year-end crossings. G7 to announce long-term Ukraine security package for Ukraine, deal to include defense equipment, training and intelligence sharing. And reigning champion Djokovic overcomes Rublev to book last 4 spot in Wimbledon Open. Top seed Swiatek faces soft defeat to Savitlonia. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. We'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us. Namaste.